Hi friends, in this video I will explain the concept of Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol and also DHCP message format for 7 marks. So first of all we need to understand what you mean by DHCP. So if you take an example of configuration of 100 or maybe 50 systems by the manual operation or maybe by the manual assignment of IP address. So if you take that as an example, so which will take at least minimum 3 days to configure and then assign the IP address. But we want within 2 hours or maybe 3 hours, we want to assign the IP address without a manual intervention. So at the time this the DHCP protocol which offers a good solutions for assignment of IP addresses without any errors. So first of all we need to know about what is DHCP. So DHCP is a dynamic host configuration protocol which will automate the process of assigning IP address and other essential network configuration to devices within a network. So which is going to reduce the need of manual IP address set up by the network administrator. IP address allocation sources, large organizations and the ISP receives IP address block directly from ICANN, Internet Corporation for assigned names and then numbers. Small organization obtain IP address block from a ISP. So we will be having the different levels of the ISPs are present: national, international ISPs, national ISPs, and then local ISPs. So manual versus automatic assignment. Manual assignment admins manually assigns each device an IP address which can time consuming. So just given. So through that manual assignment of IP address which will take a lot of time. So automatic assignment with the DHCP. So DHCP automatically assigns the IP, improving the efficiency and then reducing the errors. So how DHCP works? Layer and then model operates at the application layer and follows the client server model. Process devices request IP configuration from DHCP server which assigns the IP and then other necessary details. Plug and play protocol. DHCP is often called as a plug and play because it allows the device to connect to the network and obtain the configuration settings automatically without user intervention. Permanent versus temporary IP addressing. Permanent IP address for devices like servers and routers needing a stable IP. Temporary IP address assignment for devices requiring a short-term connectivity. Examples of efficiency: ISP with limited IP can use DHCP to support more devices by reallocating address dynamically, such as serving 4,000 households with 1,000 IP if only 25% online simultaneously. Essential information provided by the DHCP: IP address unique identifier of the device, network prefix defines the device network range, default router, the IP address of the router connect to the external networks, and the DNS server addresses resolves domain names into the IP address, allowing each access to the websites. Uses and benefits of DHCP. Applications commonly used in all types of networks. Simplified network management. So some of the benefits are present. So next we will see the DHCP message format. So here we will be having the size of 0 to the 31 bits. So which is going to the totally 32 bits are present. So DHCP is a client server protocol in which client sends a request message and server returns the response message. So opcode, edge type, header length, hop count, transaction ID, time elapsed, flags, client IP address, your IP address, server IP address, gateway IP address, client hardware address, server name, boot file name, and then option. So opcode which will be having the whether it is a request or the reply. So S type it is a hardware type, and then S length it is a length of a hardware address, and then H count is a hop count. So and then transaction ID which will be having the integer set by the client and then repeated by the server, and then time elapsed a number of seconds of since the client started to the boot, and the flag bits which is going to indicating under 0 for a unicast and then 1 for a multicast, and then other bits 15 bits are not used. And then your IP address which is having the server IP address set by the server, and then client IP address set if the 0 if the client doesn't know if, and then server IP address broadcast IP addresses if the client doesn't know, and then gateway IP address which is having the default router, and then server name is 64 byte domain name of the server, boot file name is 64, domain name of the server, and then 128 byte file name holding extra information. Options is 64 byte field with the dual purpose describing the text. So and then some of the option formats are present. So DHCP discover, DHCP offer, DHCP request, and then DHCP decline, DHCP acknowledgement, DHCP NACK, DHCP release, and then DHCP inform. So these values which is going to indicating these 8 different meanings, and then tag it is a 53, and the length which we have in the 1. So if you can take examples of operations of a DHCP, how it will works. So here we will be having the client and then server. So first, which is going to sending a DHCP discover from client to the server. So and then here which will be having the transaction ID, and then here main concentration with respect to the source port and then destination port. So source port it is a client, and then destination port it is a 67, which is going to sending a DHCP discover so to the server, which is it will receive the discover message and then validate, and then from server to the client, which is going to offering the what and all the request it has been come from the client. So for that we will be having the source port 67, and then destination port it is 68, which is going to offering a request for that corresponding discover. And then next, which is going to sending a DHCP request from source port to the 68 and destination port to the 67. So here which will be having the offering a DHCP request. So for that which is giving the acknowledgement from a server to the client. So based upon the whether it is offer or maybe acknowledgement or maybe disconnected will be these values it has been set. Discover, offer, request. If the client and the server it is not matched, then it will be DHCP decline. And then for success we are going to getting acknowledgement, and then for failure we are going to getting a NACK, and then once it has been completed the task or maybe exchanging the data, then it will be released. So like that different meanings it has been present for different values. Thank you.